My name is Fleur Allen, for those of you who don't know. I'm the founding director and master networker for Out of the Box Biz. We're a business community and a marketplace. So we hold monthly events. We're in our 4th year. We had quite a few more people coming along, unfortunately. As we were discussing, they felt they were melting in the rain because they got a bit wet. No, I'm kidding. There's a whole variety of reasons why, unfortunately, people haven't been able to make this evening. But we're going to move on right along because I'm really excited because those of you who are here for the first time, Liberty Executive Officers, which is Jamie Vine's business, who is hosting this evening, is the closest thing we have to a home in terms of venue, because we move around to our members' venues, those that have venues, because not everyone does. So we come back here at the beginning of every financial quarter. So July, ta-da! Not only the beginning of the quarter, but the beginning of the financial year. So yay! Or, that can go either way, really. So reflect, review, cry, rejoice, whatever the last financial year was, because now it's a new one. And it's just another day, but I think it's always good to mark these occasions. So Liberty Executive Officers have just recently gone through a refresh of their brand. I believe they're just communicating now what they've always done. I've known Jamie and Liberty for quite a number of years now, and I'm always over-impressed with their people, with their staff, and the way that you get looked after whenever you arrive here at a Liberty Executive Officers. So I'm not going to steal his thunder. He's going to share with us a little bit about his people and the importance of people power, which is really tricky to say on a microphone. And then I'll come back once he's finished his presentation and let you know a few bits and pieces before we go back into open networking. So please give a warm welcome to Jamie Vine.
Thank you. You want to try saying it after a few beers, actually? People power. Say it fast. So Fleur asked me to say a few words and really to try and share the journey, I guess, that we've been going through at Liberty. And you'll see as we go through this presentation, I've just tried to put some slides together which kind of frame my thinking and the things that have inspired me to change from where we were to where we are, and the challenges we've had, if you like, to try and present that and to make the brand speak of the team, not just of a logo and an office, because that's pretty boring. Okay, so there's a few. I guess there's a guy called Nick Eggleton who sits where that Apple PC is, who's not here unfortunately. But I work with Nick on a lot of our marketing stuff, and I set in the challenge. It must be probably close on 8-9 months ago now, where I said, look, offices are boring. We've been told, because we've just gone through our 6th birthday as a business, we've been told that it's our people. Every time it's our people that make the difference. They're the thing that make us stand apart from the competition. But nothing we did from a marketing perspective presented that. And that'll become clear. So the challenge I set him was, when was the last time you saw an aeroplane on a Virgin poster? When was the last time a Virgin advert ever showed you the product? It always shows you team members, 99.9% of the time. So that was my inspiration, which kind of explains a couple of the phrases that inspired me along the way. So I got some famous quotes up here from famous people. You need to be ready. Clients do not come first, employees come first. And I've never believed anything more, because, if I say client first, and I'm the only one doing it, I'm not here all the time. I take very long holidays. And I need to make sure everything carries on when I'm not around. And this one as well, investing in the people. So it's interesting. Actually, one of our meeting room clients put a post on LinkedIn recently where she said, and I'll not name her because we don't agree on this topic, but she said, to get on in your workplace, you need to make yourself irreplaceable. And I don't believe that for a second. I think you make yourself completely replaceable. It's the sign of good management. If you can walk out the door and everything runs without you, you're ready to do something else. You're ready to be promoted. And, I think developing and training your people to a point where they're better than their role just means that hopefully they'll stay if you make it a nice culture. Another famous quote. Oh, who's that? But our people are our only sustainable competitive advantage. Lord Vine of Yorkshire wrote that. But I believe that. That's the only thing my competition can't copy. They could do a refurb tomorrow and make it look like this. They can change their pricing and match my price list. They can say, we'll answer the call in 3 rings every time, like we say. But what they can't do is, they can't, hopefully, steal Hannah and the rest of the team. They can't replace the culture, and they'll never deliver what we deliver. But that was our website. I can't show you the new one because it's not quite ready. But does that tell you that it's all about the people? It doesn't show our point of difference at all. And when you think about, to give you some statistics, probably it must be 70% of our inquiries come from outside Perth, which means they come by looking at the website. So they're not going to meet anybody before they inquire. They're probably not going to have had a referral before they inquire. So the website and our marketing needs to tell people what we are and what we stand for, and that just isn't cutting it. Unfortunately, that's still our website because it was supposed to be ready last Friday and it's not quite. But hopefully by the end of this week, we'll be swapping over. So, the refresh. That's what I want instead. Not a single aeroplane in sight. And just really punchy, ballsy sayings like flying in the face of ordinary. It's like we're just not doing it like everybody else, and we're not. But it didn't come across, and it doesn't come across in the current marketing material, the current logo, the current website. Nothing was coming across. So we've gone from, right, that shouldn't look like that. That actually says libertyofficers.com.au. And that, I don't know what's going on there. I did this on my PC and it's now on a Mac. I blame Mac every time. That now says weareliberty.com.au. So we're even changing the URL so that people who look for us will get a feeling about it being a team effort. And we also, we sell more than offices. We rent out meeting rooms. We've got phone answering services. We've got co-working. So Liberty Offices, when you see it, no matter what the advert said, you might go, I don't want offices, I want a meeting room. So I'm not clicking. So we're changing it to We Are Liberty. And we're also changing the tagline. So the tagline used to be, because we were Liberty, free your business, with the principle being that we take away all the hassle of running an office and free you and your business to focus on what you do. The principle's still the same, but now we're talking about we're doing it differently to everybody else. So we are the workspace revolution, and we are Liberty, and that's really what you will see when we launch our new stuff. So it's a very people-focused branding exercise. So we also had a series of different brand names. So we had Liberty Virtual Offices, Liberty Meeting Rooms, Hive, which was this space previously, and Liberty Executive Offices. So it was very confusing for anybody looking. They didn't actually know exactly what we focused on and what we were specialized in. So we just changed it. So you can see behind me the new branding. But anybody who has been here before will have seen a lot of changes because there was a few Hive things around here as well. And they're the Liberators. So the team are it. And they are called Liberators, internally and externally. They know what it stands for, and I'm going to talk you through some of the behaviours and the areas that we focus on internally. But we're also putting that out there on the new website as this is what we stand for. So that shouldn't be like that either. That says introducing epic, but it's not very epic because it's... But epic is our new set of behaviors. Excellence, positivity, intuitiveness, and communicativeness. Now say that after a few beers. So, very simple. But so what I'm sharing with you now is what we shared with the team when we did an internal launch. So you can see what we're saying to the team and what they've bought into in terms of a set of behaviors. So excellence is defined as the quality of being outstanding or extremely good. An example being doing more than the client expects every time. Positivity speaks for itself, but optimistic in attitude. Importantly, being happy and positive regardless of any personal baggage or the client's personality, because they're occasionally challenging. But also, we've got a young team who have got stuff going on in their lives, and they know that when the lift doors open, game face. That's the deal. Oh, there she is. Intuitiveness. So this is proactively predicting client needs. It's sort of having that kind of sixth sense that you get to know your clients so well, you can almost put the coffee on the desk before they've asked. And that speaks for itself. Listening, understanding, and managing expectations. But then we have to measure it. So what we've done is we've introduced two things. So there's a bonus scheme and there's also some WOW awards, but they're not linked. Importantly, they're not really linked to financial return. They're linked to meeting standards. So Maddie is our operations director. We've called Maddie the Enforcer. So that got a bit of a giggle when we launched it internally, because I don't think anybody was expecting it. We've launched new business cards, which you'll find around the place, which hopefully demonstrate that we're about the people. And then we've partnered with a group called the WOW Awards. I don't know if anybody's heard of the WOW Awards. It's actually a British business, but they're working now with several large Australian companies, and we used to use them back in the UK. I'll explain what it is. It's a fantastic initiative. So it's the only independent awards process for great customer service, and it's based entirely on what clients say. So I can't nominate somebody, they can't nominate each other. So nominations must be about a genuine customer service experience. And we just recently did appraisals, and most of the team brought with them a series of emails. Look what this one said, look what this one said. The client's going, that was fantastic, thank you for doing that. You went the extra mile there, you did this, you did that. There's now an actual formal way for the team to be recognised for good customer service. But then the nominations, so who gets a certificate, it's not an automatic certificate, first of all. It's been put together, the WOW Awards team in London go through every nomination from all their clients and decide who's worthy of a certificate, and then they send it to us to print out and give to the staff member. But the good thing is, it actually, if you want to win an award, you have to request and encourage feedback. Which is relatively unique. People occasionally just pass you just tick the smiley faces, please. But there's no real emphasis on that. So this is going to be through our website. You'll be able to go on our website, either go straight to the WOW Awards page, or you can go to our Meet the Team page and see the person, if you didn't know their name, that gave you great service, and nominate them from there. And you put in what they did, and will hopefully be an award-winning customer service business quite soon. I'll stop clicking. There you go. Anyway, that's it. That's it from me. I just wanted to share with you the journey. Fleur asked me to talk about people. It's been a really important sort of refresh for us 6 years in. We've learned along the way what we're good at, what makes the difference, And all we've actually done is refresh our behaviours and make sure that what you see outside of the space reflects what you get within the space as much as it can do until you physically experience it. So that's it. Thank you.
Thanks, Jamie. Does anyone have any questions? Ben?
So you're obviously one of the more competent people in the world, in the top 1%. You don't have to say yay or nay, it's a fact of life. Now, you've run this business for 5-6 years. Can I ask what inspired you, or maybe it's just a gradual growth, to make this change? Because it's obviously impressive. Can I ask that question?
Yeah, of course. Well, I guess the inspiration came out of, well, there's a positive and a negative. So the negative was, it's incredibly frustrating. Right, let me take a step back. Before I moved to Australia, we wouldn't even send anybody a quote unless they came to look at the office, because it was convenient. If somebody's in London, and we've got 40 locations in London, which we did have, and they say, yeah, I need an office, you say, come down and have a look. They experience the service before they get the price. In this country, it's physically not possible, especially when most of the enquiries are a 5-hour flight away. So the challenge, therefore, and the frustration for me was sometimes not making the shortlist before they've even seen it. So trying to get it across in the marketing was key, because, like I say, a lot of our clients don't even experience the service before they make their decision. They make it on price. You know, so I'm not saying they make the final decision, but they might shortlist 3, and they'll ask us for a proposal before. So it was important that the website, the proposals, everything we send to them reinforces what it is we're trying to deliver. And then the positive side of that was the feedback we've been getting, and it just dawned on me probably 6-8 months ago that you couldn't see it unless you were here. So we were ready for a refresh. You know, there's some challenges on the East Coast in terms of big American organisations trying to do what we do, or doing it quite well actually, and doing it quite cool, making it funky and the place people want to be. So we needed to update our brand and our image so that we could compete on that stage as well. But I also wanted to celebrate what we've achieved, and we've now got. So when you get the new website link, which I'll get Fleur to pass around, you know, every product, there's a series of testimonials. We've now got, before I had an idea, now we've got evidence. This is what we do, and this is what our clients tell us. So it was just about really bringing that to the forefront. Does that answer your question? Yeah. Thank you.
Were you ever getting any male liberators on your floor?
Well, there's 2 there. No, so when we started, my first 2 employees were I had Nicole was the manager, and I brought on Akira, a Japanese guy, as the assistant manager, and they both moved on since then. But there's certainly no aversion to having male people on the floor at all. They just have to look good in a suit. Any other questions?
I was interested in the WOW scheme.
Yes.
Up until a few years ago, I was in a large Australian company, and I thought they were very innovative, leading edge, bringing in an awards scheme where staff could give rewards to each other and you could cash them in to buy the product. But it lost its mojo towards the end of the 12 months because the budget was unused.
Yep.
So department heads were just divvying out the points.
Okay.
Completely lost the purpose of what it should be about. So it's good to see a scheme that rewards because of customer.
It's entirely customer compliments, yeah. There's no way. So we put it under a feedback page. We're not saying nominate me. If you go into a feedback page, you'll then find the WOW Awards. So we want to know if you're not happy as well. But obviously we're hoping, we don't get much of that, so we're hoping that won't increase. But yeah, the fact that clients are entirely responsible for the nomination, and they are encouraged to put in quite a lot of detail as to why they're nominating, what the experience was. And you know, I mean, the team are, you know, they will always get rewarded financially when we do well, but recognition is twofold. You know, people just to know they've done a good job is very valuable as well.
we're doing something, Jamie, which is along the same lines. We're sort of using a net promoter score. So we're going back to our clients and surveying our clients, and they'll rank us out of 10. If you're getting sort of 9 or 10, that means they're promoting you.
Yep.
If it's sort of 6, 7, 8, it's basically neutral. But anything 5 and under is actually a detractor.
Mm.
And it's for two purposes. Obviously, we want to just sort of benchmark where we are in terms of customer service. It also gives you an opportunity to go back and work with those guys that are rated you 1 to 5 and work out what the issues are. Rated higher.
Yeah.
So it gives an opportunity to go back and work with those clients that aren't entirely satisfied with what they're getting and get that positive or get that feedback so we can work with it.
Yeah.
So I think it's
Well,
really
it's better you find out,
exactly
before you lose them. Yeah.
So we think it's I think the focus on that feedback's really important. So.
I remember I was on. My sister lives in Dubai, so occasionally when I'm going back to the UK to see family, I'll stop for a couple of days with her. And even there's a hotel that I used to be able to afford to go to before I moved here. And what really got my attention was they had a survey thing that people just working around the pool and the bars and the restaurants. They gave you this thing and you thought you're going to have to fill in this thing, and it just said, did any employee at any point today say no? That's all they wanted to know. Because the answer was always yes. And, it's phenomenal when you're that confident in your delivery that that's the only question you need to ask. Jumeirah Beach. Can't go anymore. Not in this economy.
Jamie, just a quick one. Was what you're running back in London, was that Liberty as well, and how many years were you doing that?
It wasn't Liberty. Paul and I actually, who's our commercial director, we worked together at a company called MWB. So MWB were the second largest operator in the UK. We had 73 locations. I said 44 of them were in London. And actually each location was bigger than the entire Liberty business right now. So 73 of this, not just this, upstairs, over the road, the whole thing. So yeah, it was a fantastic business. I was in there for 11 and a half years before I came here. I did 2 years at Regis before that, so I experienced the big beast that is and how they operate. But it was a similar business from a cultural perspective. Very focused on customer service. They have the WOW Awards, or they did do until Regis bought them. So they had the WOW Awards, and so it's what we saw how it motivated and influenced people's behaviours and got people to do what the client needs. But no, it wasn't Liberty as a brand. Liberty was brand new when we got here.
And do you think if you build this, or you already have, will you want to take that elsewhere, like over east?
Oh, absolutely. Every decision we've made has been around scale. Yeah. To be fair, if we weren't growing or planning to grow, I don't need to come in, because Paul and Maddie run it between them with the team. I could quite happily surf Google all day if I wasn't trying to grow. I'm not needed to run the current business. Yeah. So it's the aim is that we would grow this nationally and then even internationally. And to be fair, if it wasn't for I wasn't aware of Perth cycles when I got here. Nobody told me. So if it wasn't about the cyclical side of this, and the last 4 years being a car crash, we would have already done it several times over. It's just that we've used the war chest we made in the first 2 years to stay alive for the last 4.
One last one.
Yep, go.
I only want to commend you because I've only been here for 3 months, but something that you flagged up on Friday when we were having drinks was that you were proud to say that the occupancy of this is up in the 90s, isn't it?
Yeah.
Whereas I know, having checked out, obviously the reason why I'm here is for what you're saying, but when I've checked out a few of the other kind of similar facilities, there weren't anything like that. So
yeah, no,
obviously you're doing something right.
I think there aren't enough inquiries. There's not enough demand to keep filling your space. So what you've got to do is keep your clients, and the other guys miss that trick. So our competitors are largely, there's one local guys, but they're largely international businesses who are run out of Hong Kong, Sydney, or London. And in that kind of environment, you just get basically told, right, price of this is going up, roll it out, and you also get the ability to blame head office at a local level. And you just don't keep clients like that. In fact, we've lost a number of opportunities where the guys have said, right, we've had enough where we are, we're going. We're coming to you, we love what you do. And Paul will go, have you served notice before you check? And our competitors have got auto-renewal clauses, which renew them for 12 months at full price. And if you haven't served your notice by a certain date, you're locked in. So, we're actually taking advice at the moment on whether this is actually legal so that we can, encourage a couple of people to test it. But a client retention strategy shouldn't be in your terms and conditions. It should be in your service delivery, surely. But their retention strategy is based on legals, which is a short-term, foolish approach. All good?
No, one more.
Yep.
Not like me to actually speak up and ask a question, but what you're doing at the moment, it's a small business, yeah, it's personal, it's here, it's imperfect.
Yeah.
And you can oversee it. Say you want to grow it, you go to the eastern states, you want to go international. How do you think you're going to keep that personal focus on the customer and it's about the people?
That's a great question.
It's okay while it's here.
Yeah.
But you set it up in Melbourne and Sydney.
No, it's a good question. So, as I said before, we from the outset we've designed the business for scale. So even though there's only 9 of us now, but even when there was only 3 of us, we were operating within an operations manual and a certain set of standards and measurement. So we've built the business almost like a franchise so that it is repeatable. So there are systems and processes and things that brand standards that can be replicated. In terms of the keeping the personal touch and making sure that you're involved.
You don't want what happens over there if something goes wrong to actually expect.
No, not at all. It's really there are 2 things. One is keeping a flat management structure, which we've always intended to do. There's nothing worse than a series of middle managers because they all lie to keep their job. So the guy who's making the decisions, or the lady who's making the decisions, will ask the next person. The next person's trying to save their job, so they'll say something about the next person, and before you know it, everybody's blaming the people who are actually doing the job, and it's a nightmare. So we'll keep a flat management structure, and then we're really, really clear on our recruitment. So we don't take anybody on lightly, and even ones that have been really successful in interview come in for a trial, just to make sure that not only that they'll gel with the team, because I can have somebody who's a superstar, but if they're going to be out on their own, we're not about individuals. It's a team effort.
Maybe training people here.
So yeah, we do. That would be the intention, to do people's induction in Perth, or at least have Perth people going there to do the induction there, so that there's some transfer of knowledge and experience and passion as well. So the Perth team will always be the head office. It will always have been the founder of the brand, and it will always be the one that's the most passionate about it when it's training. So yeah.
Culture, you want to keep that culture.
Yeah. Yeah. Pleasure. All good? Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you. Good questions. I just want to point out as well, a common theme and value amongst the community of Out of the Box Biz also is high or excellence in customer service. And so I encourage you all to share that value and question each other on how you're achieving it. Because Out of the Box Biz last year, I think it was February last year, we were finalists in a national award for excellence in customer service. And I mention it only because Brad Sugars is a big name internationally in business, and he gave this workshop saying customer service is the new marketing. Customer service is the new everything for survival and business. So I commend you, Jamie, and your team. And Hannah is here. This is Hannah here. on the photo. So she's part of the team here tonight, supporting us. And I think you know Jamie. Ask questions, because I'm always interested in talking to either Jamie or Paul or Maddie and the Liberators on how they're doing what they're doing and how they do it so well. So thank you.